And here now is someone else who made immense sacrifices in 9/11, Ken George. He is a 9/11 search and rescue worker. Thank you for being on the show. You know, the last time I interviewed you, I was actually in New York, and I came to your house and I went to your doctor with you, and you shared your story with our audience. You're back again today. How's your health, Ken?
It's declining. It's getting worse, a little at a time. I'm on, like TJ was saying, I'm on oxygen. You know, I try not to use it too much in the house because I'm kind of embarrassed. You know, like when my daughter's friends are over and my granddaughter pulls on a little string on my nose.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's embarrassing sometimes, but that's what's happening to us 9/11 responders. Each time we keep getting sicker and sicker. Each time you go to a doctor, something else is wrong, you know? It's just getting worse.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I know, one of the things when we last spoke, you were looking to, this was before the Zadroga health bill had passed. And now President Obama has signed it, and now people are starting to get paid. But was that a solution for many of your friends in your 9/11 first responder community who are sick?
No, not at all. Especially when I found out that cancer's not included. There's so many people that are dying from cancer. It's unbelievable. Just like the other gentleman before said, TJ, every time we went on a bus trip, somebody else was missing or somebody else was dying. I got another good friend of mine. He has stage 4 throat cancer. And, you know, he's not expected to be here that long either. A couple other guys I met at a little get-together. They got cancers. They got to go for biopsies and all kinds of stuff like that. It's scary. You know, it really is. And to see people try to make profit on a deal, it's kind of aggravating.
Mm-hmm. How was it for you and your, I know you're very close with the 9/11 first responder community. You guys comfort each other and are close. How was the 9/11 10th year anniversary for you guys? What was the biggest feeling that you had?
That I was here to spend the 10th year anniversary with a lot of the first responders, and to actually go that Saturday to go see a memorial wall that they have for sick responders out here in the island. So when a sick responder dies, our name will get put up on a wall. That was about it. Other than I shut the TV off and everything, I just couldn't. It was too much to handle. I had a lot of people calling me up because they were still upset of all the stuff that they went through, you know. It was just stuff like that.
Right. And all this time later, and you mentioned that cancer isn't covered. I just read a study that U.S. researchers found that 9/11 firefighters are 19% more likely to get cancer. There are studies done on this, and it's not being covered. How many of your friends are sick with cancer that were first responders?
I would say a good 30% of them have cancer. And I'm talking about they have cancers that people don't usually get, you know, in between the 40s and early 50s. And these people are dying, and they're leaving behind young kids and wives. You know, it's unbelievable. And some of the cancers I never even heard of.
Yeah, and yet they're not recognized by the government. Ken, 10 years later, looking back, you've made so many sacrifices. You haven't gotten the help, you and your friends, from the government that you thought you would. You have pictures, I think, if I remember correctly, with Hillary Clinton, maybe even Obama. 10 years later, though, would you have done this again if you could go back?
You know something, ma'am? I would definitely do it again. But let me tell you something, I would do things a lot differently. I would make sure I had the proper respirators, the proper gear. I would make sure the proper equipment was with me. You know, that's what I would, you know, because I thought about that a lot of times, you know, should I or shouldn't I? And yeah, I would have did it. And I'm sure if you see an old lady in the street fall and you twisted your ankle to go help her, and another lady falls and twists, you know, you go help her out, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I would do it again. But like I said, I would do things a lot differently to make sure that I had the proper equipment.
Yeah, and that was nothing, that wasn't given to you at the time, right? Or
no, ma'am.
Yeah, no. So I'm sorry that's a situation that you're in. I really appreciate you coming on our show and talking about it, because I do think a lot of people don't understand really how much you guys have sacrificed and suffered. I appreciate it. That was 9/11 search and rescue worker Ken George.